Lesson 18. We're on page 88. So we're going to be working with average and line graphs. Average and line graphs.
What?
So,
I can't swear I just said this.
So what is a line graph? A line graph, it displays the numerical information as points connected by line segments.
Yeah, I did this.
Well, you must have worked ahead then. So whereas bar graphs often display comparisons, line graphs, they are connected dots. So a line graph is going to look something like this. You have a dot right here, and then it's going to connect to another dot, and then it connects to another dot, and then it connects to another dot. And it can be in any kind of pattern, but a line graph looks like this. Have you guys all worked with line graphs before? I have all the different types of graphs up here. So a line graph, a tally chart, bar graph, pie graph, and then a pictograph, and even a line plot. So, okay. So now that we know that, we had a little refresher. Let's try example 1 on page 89. Are you 7-6 math, as I've said like 5 or 6 times already? I've said this over and over again, but some of you just continue to talk, so it's up to you. Example 1, in 4 aquariums, there were 28 goldfish. 28 goldfish. There were 27 goldfish, 26 goldfish, and 31 goldfish in the 4 different aquariums. What was the average number of goldfish in each aquarium? How do we find average, guys? How do we find average? Yeah, Brady.
So you add all the numbers like normally.
Yep. So average, you take the sum.
And then you divide that by how many you were adding.
Yep, you divide it by how many you were adding. So in our case, we're dividing it by 4 because we have 4 different values. We have 1 aquarium right here, then we have 2 aquariums, then we have 3 aquariums, and 4 aquariums. So we have 4 different aquariums. So we would add all those together. That would give us our sum, and then we would divide it by 4, which would give us our average, also known as our mean. Have you guys done mean, median, and mode?
What?
Really?
Median? Mean is the average.
Yeah, mean is average, median is the middle number, and mode is which number comes up the most.
I think I've done it before.
Yeah, you guys should have done that by now. That's like 4th, 5th grade. That's when you first get introduced to that. Okay, so let's add these up. 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 1. What is that going to be? So let's do 8 plus 7, which is 15, plus 6 is going to be 21, plus 1 is 22. 22, carry my 2. Then 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So 112, that's my sum. So I'm going to plug that into the top of my equation here. So I'll take 112 divided by 4 because I have 4 different aquariums. 112 divided by 4, 4 goes into 11. 2 times 4 is 8. 11 minus 8 is going to be 3. Bring down my 2. 4 goes into 32. How many times, Talon? 8 times. And 4 times 8 is 32. So I have a remainder of 0. So there's an average of 28 goldfish. 28 goldfish on average per tank. Okay? So that's how we do average. So let's try another one here. Let's try another one. Example 2. Example 2. What is the average of 3, 7, and 8? Grace, what is the average of 3, 7, and 8? How do I do that? Yep, 3 plus 7 plus 8. And what's that going to be? So 3 plus 7 is what, Grace? 3 plus 7. So 3 plus 7 is going to be 10. plus 8 would be 18. And then we divide it by, what are we going to divide it by? How many total numbers are there, Grace? 3, yep. So 18 divided by 3, which is going to be, whoops, 6. I was doing an upside down 6. 6. So our average of 3, 7, and 8 for our mean of those numbers is going to be 6. And I also have, nope, that poster must have fell. I did have a mean, median, and mode poster, but it fell. It was right in that spot. I don't even know where it went. Oh well. All right, example 3 now. Example 3. Example 3, what number is halfway between 27 and 81? Talon, how do I figure this one out? 81 divided by 2? 81 plus 27, you have to add them together first and then divide it by 2. But yeah, you can go. So 81 plus 27 is going to be what, Brady?
108.
Yeah, 108 divided by 2, and what's that going to be, Grace? It's going to be 54. 54 plus 54 is 108. So there we go. So 54 is halfway in between. All right, last example, example number 4. Example 4, we're working with line graphs. Example 4, line graph. So the line graph we have here, I'm not going to put it up on the board or it's going to take another 10 minutes. And I don't want to waste bunch of our time. So on page 90, there's a line graph right there. It says this line graph shows Margie's height in inches from her 8th birthday to her 14th birthday. During which year did Margie grow the most? Which year did she grow the most? So where was the biggest jump? Where was the biggest jump? So guys, look at that for a little bit. If you're having problems with it, you can always read the solution there to give yourself an explanation. So I'll read that there. It says, from Margie's 8th birthday to her 9th birthday, she grew about 2 inches. She also grew about 2 inches from her 9th to her 10th birthday. From her 10th to her 11th birthday, Margie grew about 5 inches. Notice that this is the steepest part of the graph. So here's what the graph kind of looks like the entire time. It goes like this and all of a sudden it spikes up a little bit and then it flattens out. So about the time, so that was from 10 to 11. From age 10 to 11 is when she grew the most. Age 10 to age 11, it looks like she grew about, so 50 to about 57. So she grew about what, 5 inches? 5 inches. So in that time span. All right. So that's all I have for you guys. So you guys have, your homework is page 91, A through H, and then 1 to 21 odd. 1 to 21 odd. Yes, Brady.
Yes, I think.